There is a plant the world was trained to fear, a plant whose sting became its disguise, a plant that humanity once depended on with a devotion so deep it was woven into our graves, our medicines, our survival, and then, almost overnight, that knowledge was erased, a page they removed, a truth they smothered in ashes. A fragment that escaped the flames now lands in your hands. Welcome to the past they hid. If these buried stories shake something awake inside you, subscribe and hit the bell. More hidden history is coming. The story begins beneath the soil, far below the sting, below the leaves, down where roots behave like ancient architects. Stinging nettle was never just a weed, it was a builder of fertile ground, a biological engineer hiding in plain sight. While we winced at its bite, its roots worked tirelessly in the dark, pulling iron, magnesium, potassium, and silica from the depths of the subsoil. Those minerals were not gathered randomly, they were accumulated with purpose, stored in the leaves and returned to the soil as the plant died back each season. A record they sealed told us to fear the sting, but the underground world reveals the opposite. This plant was making the land richer for everything around it. The rhizomes, the real engines, stretched like an underground map, branching, crawling, claiming territory, not out of aggression, but survival design. Their movement breaks compacted soil, their presence awakens microbes asleep for decades. Fungal threads attach to the roots like ancient alliances, trading minerals for sugars, building the exact structure of soil civilization that modern agriculture spends billions trying to replicate. While we sprayed it, burned it, cursed it, the archive beneath our feet was quietly rebuilding fertility. The archive breathes again. When early herbalists and foragers bent to harvest nettle, they weren't just taking a leafy green, they were tapping into a biological battery, a superfood created by the exact minerals the roots mined from deep below. That's why it was the first green harvested each spring after long winters. Before spinach, before kale, before our domesticated diet existed, this was the plant that refilled empty blood, high in iron, calcium, vitamin K, and containing a protein content so high it rivals animal food. This was survival nourishment, forged in the chemistry of underground battles. And yet, the sting is what the world remembers, not the nourishment, not the soil restoration, not the medicine. The sting became the story they spread. That sting, though, its architecture alone is a forbidden manuscript. Each hair is a hollow needle tipped with silica, designed like a microscopic syringe. When it snaps against skin, it injects a complex mixture: formic acid, histamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, a blend crafted by nature for one purpose: rapid chemical communication. But here is the page they removed. That same sting that humans feared was once used intentionally, not as punishment, as therapy. Soldiers marching through bitter regions, cold, wet, filled with ache, learned that the sting activated circulation. It brought warmth to freezing limbs. It countered the pain of long marches. They used the plant as a biological ignition switch. The sting was the treatment. A fragment that escaped the flames shows that herbalists used it for arthritis, gout, chronic stiffness, inflammation. The acute fire that erupted on the skin forced the body to respond, sending blood, heat, and immune signals to long-neglected tissues. This was the ancient origin of counter-irritation, the practice modern science still relies on. They buried that knowledge under centuries of dismissal. But the leaves held a different medicine. When dried or cooked, their sting vanished completely, leaving behind compounds that regulate inflammation, support detoxification, and balance the immune system. Freeze-dried nettle leaf today is one of the most researched natural antihistamines, capable of blocking histamine receptors that cause allergies. A plant we labeled an enemy is now one of the strongest allies for people overwhelmed by seasonal reactions. The underground world of nettle did not stop with its leaves. Its root, thick, gold-brown, soaked with phytochemicals, held a secret that modern medicine rediscovered, kind of reluctantly. Research now reveals that nettle root interacts with hormonal pathways, supporting men with enlarged prostates, modulating aromatase, and regulating the same biochemical roots that pharmaceuticals target. A truth they smothered in ashes is now reappearing in clinical journals. Even the seeds play a role, humming with adaptogenic qualities that support kidney health and energy metabolism. Every part of the plant was designed for survival, our survival, and we almost erased that page from human memory. But one more secret rested in its fibers. Archaeologists uncovered a 3,000-year-old burial shroud woven from nettle thread, not wool, not linen, nettle, because its fibers were strong, fine, and resilient. Civilizations wrapped their dead in it, warriors wore it, entire communities depended on it. Then came industrial cotton, chemical herbicides, and a society trained to see wild plants as enemies. Nettle became a symbol of disorder, as if neatness was nobility, as if control was wisdom. But the plant waited, growing in compost heaps, thriving near old homesteads, standing guard over manure piles. It took root wherever humans had disturbed the land, because disturbed land is where its work is needed most. Today, sustainable fashion is rediscovering something our ancestors never forgot. Nettle fiber is stronger than linen and grows without pesticides or heavy irrigation. The plant that once clothed the Bronze Age is returning as a textile of the future. Another page survives. So the next time its sting brushes your hand, remember the truth. This was never a weed. It was a guardian, a healer, a soil builder, a companion species carrying knowledge the modern world forgot. The archive breathes again. If this page opened something for you, protect it. Share it before they bury it again.